Hello and thanks for joining us for France in Focus. I'm Tom Burgess-Watson. Just 2 months remain until people across France go to the polls to elect their new president. And with François Hollande out of the running, the race is wide open. This edition comes to you from the Constitutional Council, a place with great importance to the electoral process, and we'll explain why in just a moment. But first, let's take a look and see what powers the French president actually has.
For a long time, the French presidency was a mainly ceremonial role, but that came to an end with the arrival of a new constitution in 1958, with the Fifth Republic's first president, General de Gaulle, determined to bolster presidential powers to end years of weak government. First of all, there are the president's powers of appointment. The president directly appoints the prime minister. The French head of state can also dissolve the National Assembly and call referendums on proposed changes to the law. The president is the head of the armed forces and can call upon the Constitutional Council for advice on new laws and appoints 3 of the council's 9 members. And if national independence, territorial integrity or established treaties come under threat, the president also has recourse to a host of supplementary executive powers. Along with the Prime Minister, the French head of state appoints all members of government. He or she can also grant individual pardons, a prerogative inherited from the time of monarchy. The French president is a powerful individual, which means the stakes are high. Turnout for presidential elections is the highest of any vote in France.
Okay, so those are some of the French president's powers. The next question is, who's actually eligible to run for the top job? Well, the criteria include being at least 18 years of age, holding French nationality, and being a registered French voter. You then need the signatures of at least 500 elected officials, essentially endorsing your candidacy. And what's happening right now, just upstairs from here, is that those signatures are being counted and verified. But as we're about to see in this next report, gaining quite so many endorsements is actually much easier said than done.
For those nominated by a major party, the hunt for signatures is little more than a formality. But lesser-known candidates often have to go door to door in rural areas, trying to convince local elected officials to sign their petition. That's what Jacques Rambaud is doing. He's combing the department of Dordogne, trying to curry support for his candidate, Philippe Poutou.
I've gone about 8,000 kilometers. I have 4 promises so far.
He's spent hours on the road, met tons of people, and is still a long way from being finished.
When a mayor signs, I say thank you, I'm really happy, and I'm going to hold back because I don't want to seem, but it's true, sometimes I explode with joy.
Among the 80 candidates running for president is Jean Lassalle, an elected official from the Pyrenees region, who doesn't hesitate to grab his phone and make his own calls.
Monsieur le maire. Bon, alors tu en es où?
It's all good. I'm giving you my signature.
Yes!
Jean Lassalle used to be on the other side of the equation, with candidates wanting his signature.
I signed my name twice for Arlette Laguiller. I'm not going to vote for her. Giving her my signature doesn't mean that I support her, but I'm giving her the opportunity to present her ideas.
As of this year, the petitions and signatures are being made public. It's a new type of transparency that lesser-known candidates say will penalize them. They claim that a large number of elected officials are hesitant to give their support for fear of negative fallout once the election is over. That might be the reason why certain mayors and other local officials are putting the power of the pen in the hands of their constituents.
I wasn't elected with a political label on me, and so I don't think it should be just me choosing.
In this part of the Meuse region, the mayor is turning to the internet for feedback, an idea that lots of people support.
Everyone gets to have a say. It makes us feel more listened to.
Legally, candidates have to collect their 500 signatures before March 17th, and the signatures have to come from at least 30 different departments or overseas territories, without any single department accounting for more than 10% of the total number of signatures. 5 years ago, only a third of all elected officials offered their signature to anyone at all.
Well, it wasn't so very long ago that leaflets, TV adverts, and door-to-door canvassing were the main ways in which those seeking election could get their message across. But today, technology plays a key part, with social media being one of the most powerful tools. Well, let's take a look now and see just how high-tech the 2017 French presidential campaign has been.
Where am I? In Lyon. And now in Paris.
Answering the eternal question of how to be in two places at once, presidential candidate Jean-Luc Mélenchon has embraced holograms. For a politician keen to engage with as many voters as possible, it's a smart move, especially when coupled with Mélenchon's online communication strategy. The leader of the France Insoumise movement is France's most popular politician on YouTube, with some 215,000 subscribers.
It allows me to express myself without restraint. What I say doesn't have to go through the awful filter of mainstream media outlets.
One presidential candidate no stranger to the power of social media is National Front leader Marine Le Pen. She's got more Twitter and Facebook followers than any of her rivals.
Today, social media can make or break a campaign, but it can be negative when people only mix with people like themselves. They exchange content they all agree with. They're cut off from the wider public debate.
Centrist candidate Emmanuel Macron is a fan of video streaming, a way of taking voters behind the scenes on the campaign trail.
We're doing this to establish direct contact with the French people.
He's an avid user of both Instagram and Twitter, even posting messages in English.
Hello to everyone. This is a message for American researchers, entrepreneurs, engineers.
The internet also offers an unparalleled recruiting tool to France's presidential hopefuls. The website for Macron's En Marche movement makes joining a walk in the park. Over 200,000 people have so far signed up. Conservative candidate François Fillon, meanwhile, launched his campaign via his website last year, before the centre-right primaries had even taken place. And more recently, in an attempt to combat allegations that Fillon had hired family members for fictitious work, Fillon's campaign also launched a mobile app.
These initiatives seek to create a direct link between the candidate and the public. It's cheaper to do stuff on the internet than to use traditional media or organize mass meetings.
Socialist candidate Benoît Hamon is an avid Twitter user, boasting some 329,000 followers. But it was the TV debates he appeared in that really helped him clinch the left-wing nomination. So while social media's become vital to any political communication strategy, the power of traditional media shouldn't be underestimated.
The phenomenon of fake news is of international concern, and here too in France, with the presidential elections looming, stories of questionable accuracy have been doing the rounds as well. But various media outlets and social networks have been taking steps to address the issue.
January 7th, 2015 was the day two killers massacred half a newsroom in Paris. As soon as the attack was perpetrated, rumors started to spread. With so many hoaxes circulating, denying them wasn't enough anymore. That's when news outlets began developing tools to detect what's true and what's not. Le Monde launched Decodex, which gives users details about the site on which the information is posted. Does it verify the news? Is it biased? Is it a spoof website?
It's easy to find a news element that serves your opinion. It's also easy to dismiss facts you don't approve of by saying they're fake. Our work won't help people manipulating facts, but only those who are honest with themselves. People who have fallen into a trap. Many young people, internet users not very familiar with social media, and those who don't know American sites well.
Le Monde's analyzing process allows to notify readers without spreading the rumor further, which is a common mistake. During the French conservative primary, candidate Alain Juppé was hit by a campaign that criticized him for allowing to build a mosque in his city, Bordeaux. far-right backers opposed to the mosque nicknamed the former Prime Minister Ali Juppé instead of Alain. He tried to denounce the smearing during a TV debate.
They renamed me Ali Juppé, Bordeaux's chief mufti. This campaign is painful. In the first round of voting, people were saying that they won't support me because of the rumor.
Some say his reaction made things even worse.
The problem is overreaction to these media campaigns. That's what people spreading fake news want, to focus on fears and not talk about ideas and propositions.
Fear and preconceptions. That's what Hoaxbuster has been fighting for 15 years. Its number of visitors has soared with Europe's migrant crisis. It breaks down rumors, for example this one, saying German women are wearing chastity belts again to protect themselves from migrant rapists.
This rumor clearly targets migrants, insinuating they're potential rapists. Once the article is shared, the site has won.
Some analysts believe that in the US, voters were influenced by false information. In the 3 months that led up to the election, internet users shared and commented on Facebook more hoaxes and strongly partisan articles than one published by mainstream media. 8.7 million against 7.3 million. In order to stop the same phenomenon from happening in France, 8 news outlets, including France 24, united with Facebook to block the spread of fake news. As the first round of voting is due in less than 2 months, they want to act quickly.
Well, that's it for this week's edition of France in Focus. Thanks for watching. See you again soon here on France 24.